Okay, so we are still doing number 24. As you can see here, we are working on a problem on radicals 24e. So we want to find out what the square root of this quantity, negative 7 squared, is. All right, so we know that the square root of some number a, so again what we have here, if we take the square root of some number a squared, so notice this is a 2 and this is a 2, all right? So as said before, if the n's are equal, the root and the exponent are equal, you're trying to find or even numbers, right? Both are even numbers, equal even numbers. Then your solution is just going to be the absolute value of a, which in this case would be the absolute value of negative 7, which is going to be 7. But to me, that's a roundabout way to just do what the problem is asking us to do. You can think about this first and then square it. So if you square negative 7, you get 49. And then obviously the principal root of square root of 49 is going to be 7. Same answer. All right. That's it. All right. So let's look on another problem. Okay, problem F. All right. So here we go. So problem F, 24F, asks us to find the square root of negative 9 squared. And you notice here now that the negative 9 is not in parentheses. So this is just going to be the square root of what is 9 squared, 81. Remember, exponentiation goes before negative. So this is the square root of negative 81, which is not a real number. So this is not a real number. We will find out what this is in the future when we do complex numbers, but this is not a real number, right? All right, so let's move on. 24G. So let's move on to 24G. 24G asks us to find the negative of the cube root. In other words, the opposite of the cube root of 64. All right, so let me just write this better. Okay. So obviously this just means we're taking the cube root of this thing and then just take the opposite of it. So this is just going to give us the negative, what is the cube root of 64? We know it's going to be 4. Go back to your table. So the answer to this would just be negative 4. All right. Okay, now the next problem is 24H, and we're looking at the negative of the fifth root of negative 23 raised to the fifth power. All right, as you can possibly tell, okay, so look at the fives here, right? As you can possibly tell, the fifth root of any negative number is defined as a real number anyway, all right? So we're gonna do this right here, that part, and the fifth root is basically, you're basically multiplying, think about it, negative 23 times negative 23 times negative 23. Okay, we need more space, times negative 23 times negative 23. How many times did you multiply negative 23? Well, 5 times, and the fifth root is asking you just that. So this is, well, actually, let's take that back. What you're multiplying 5 times is going to be 23. All right, you're going to be multiplying 23 5 times. But notice if I have a negative on the outside, it would still be the same as if I multiply negative 23, negative 23, negative 23. An odd number of negatives would still be negative. So in the end, you think of this part in here as negative 23 5 times. It's still the same thing. And then you will try to take the fifth root of that. So that's going to be on the inside negative 23. And then you take the negative of that. So then your answer is going to end up being 23. All right. So that's going to end up being 23. And that's it. So that's all we need to do about roots. You can ask questions in class or go and try the homework and see how it's working out, and you can email me afterwards.